Santa's watching, Santa's waiting.
Welcome back to this special holiday episode brought to you by the Killer Media Podcast. I'm Tim.
And I'm Nick.
Today is Christmas. We hope you're enjoying the day, whatever holiday you're celebrating. We hope you're having a fun time. And we hope you enjoy this episode
Yes.
because we are going to.
Yes.
Tell us, what are we doing today?
Today, we are discussing our favorite movies in the whole world.
Yes.
All right, not the favorite movies in the whole world, but
Top 10.
when it comes Christmas time, these are our favorites and guilty pleasures.
Yes. Mostly guilty pleasures.
Yes, right off the bat, both of these movies aren't generally like top tier, out of this world in production. 1984 and 1987, respectively, for each of these movies. So they're old.
Mhm.
Old as shit. No, okay.
They're pretty old, not too old, but it's your typical 80s horror movie.
Yeah, it's actually horror crime. That's what the genre is.
Horror holiday crime.
Yeah.
Gotta-
And perfect time to discuss these films.
Yeah, we waited. When we first started this podcast, we were like, oh, we should review this movie. And we didn't know when to do it. And then it clicked. Why don't we do it for the Christmas episode?
Exactly.
Because it makes sense.
There's actually not a lot of Christmas movies that I've watched that are horror movies. It's just not like a
really
genre.
mix.
Yeah, they don't mix too much.
And it's not my biggest cup of tea because you're mixing horrific acts with a nice family-friendly holiday.
Yeah.
It doesn't really mix, but every now and then you get some fun ones.
Yeah, and actually, when the film first came out,
Mm.
parents were upset because
Yeah.
the Santa killer
Mhm.
vibe. They didn't want Santa to be a mass murderer,
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
and parents petitioned and stuff.
Mhm.
And the 2 weeks that the movie was in theaters,
Mhm.
they actually pulled it.
Yeah.
Pulled it short.
I only had 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But it lives on.
It opened the same weekend as the first Nightmare on Elm Street as well.
Did it really?
So it competed, actually like outperformed it for a bit, but that Santa
Yeah.
killer thing with the parents didn't help.
Yeah. But nowadays, if that happened,
Yeah.
that would drive people to go see it.
I mean, think
Of
about it.
all the controversy, just like Terrifier. Oh,
Exactly,
it's so
Terrifier.
awful. It's so gory. Why? I want to see how gory it is. I'm going to go watch it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it became a cult following.
I think it was just the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those. They're not good movies, but they're cult favorites.
Yeah.
They're cult classics.
How
So-
did we discover these films?
I think was it on Xfinity, the just surfing?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
We were just watching a compilation of like
Oh,
clips.
yeah.
We came across the
Yeah.
one from Deadly Night, Silent Night, Deadly Night
Oh
Part
yeah,
2.
we didn't even say what movies we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't even say the
No,
titles of the movies.
You can figure it out.
Yeah. Oh, we'll figure it out, right?
You guys figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 1 and Part 2.
Yes, technically just one movie.
It is pretty much one movie.
We'll get into that. But anyway, you were saying.
It was just a compilation of like funny clips we were
Mhm.
watching, and the famous Garbage Day scene
Yeah.
popped up, and we could not stop laughing.
Yeah.
So we were trying to find the movie,
Mhm.
and we found it,
Mhm.
and it was
It was the
It was
greatest
all-
thing
yeah.
we've ever seen.
it was
So we watched the second one first, then the first one.
Yeah.
So we basically watched both at the same time.
yeah.
And we didn't know that until we rewatched the first one. And then it's like, oh, okay. So if you watch the second one, I don't think you'll miss much of the first one.
Not you could mostly watch most of the second one, but there are stuff in the first one that you'll miss.
Yeah, like obviously more intricate details, but they pretty much discuss the entirety of the first film in depth. The first 40 minutes, half of the movie is a recap.
Yeah,
Scene for scene.
reused. Actually, extra deleted scenes.
Yeah, there's a few like altered scenes.
At least the Blu-ray. I was looking
Yeah.
the publisher or the film company,
Mhm.
TriStar, the Blu-ray, the like when you're watching the film and some of the quality of the scenes
Yeah.
go down. That's the reason why is they found those scenes in a vault
Mhm.
in the TriStar
Right.
somewhere, but they couldn't restore like
Yeah, it's
the
so bad.
original
Yeah,
quality.
it's
So
so
like
bad.
the dip in quality in the deleted scenes that are in it is like
Right.
very
You can
distinct.
tell it's like HD, and then it goes to like 480p. It's like whoa.
I think it was the one scene when Billy is in the corner.
Yeah, he's
and they
cowering.
zoom onto the face, and the quality dips
Yeah.
really bad.
It's like an old VHS tape, and then they zoom back into his face, and it's completely normal in the same like shot. It's weird.
yeah,
It's like, why wouldn't you just cut that and keep the? I don't know. It's weird. Times were weird back then,
they were.
but it leads for some funny moments.
It was like 6 minutes of like cut, and they cut a lot of like the 6 minutes of the deleted scenes because they didn't want an X rating. They were trying to
An
keep
X
it.
rating.
Yeah, like they didn't want. They just wanted to keep it rated R. They didn't want to go way above that.
It's
So-
not even that. I guess back then things were different.
Yeah.
It's not even that bad of a film.
I think there was more gore in the
Yeah.
deleted scenes. But I mean, these are our first impressions. Just in general, is just they're not generally really well made movies. Just they're such a guilty pleasure,
They're just
and the
funny.
absurdity,
The,
especially in the second
the,
one.
the first one's more serious and more of a real movie, and then the second one is just I don't know where they got the idea. They just turned it into a complete comedy, and I don't even think it's on purpose. It's just the way Ricky, the main guy, acts.
I'll actually get to that.
Yeah, he's weird with his acting style.
Yeah.
He enunciates certain words. It's funny, but it's quite funny.
Yeah. So actually, I was reading. So the director Lee Harry, who directed the second one,
Mhm.
and the co-writer Joseph Earl of the second one, Eric Freeman, the actor of Ricky, was actually told by Earl to be as over the top as possible.
Really?
Yeah. But the director Lee envisioned Ricky as a more serious and he as a more cold and malevolent killer. But like they mixed the director and the writer kind of like gave him
Yeah.
like two different sides, so that's why he acted the way he acted.
Interesting. So it was purposefully.
Yeah.
Because he was directed to do
Yeah,
that.
he was told to be over the top. So the over the top is on purpose.
So he could
was-
be a good actor.
He was supposed to be wisecracking like Freddy Krueger, which not really like Freddy Krueger, but like just a wise ass, which
Yeah.
he is. But he was also told to be over the top. But I think it kind of turned out well because like it's just such a it's funny.
It's funny to watch the line delivery.
Yeah.
The way he enunciates words, his over the top facial expressions when he gets pissed off. He's like it's so funny.
When Jennifer ran him over with the car,
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah. He's like, what the fuck are you?
he put his angry face like,
Yeah.
and then
put
all
his
of a sudden
angry
he's
eyes
like,
in. And then he's
I
like,
love
oh,
you.
it's a woman. Okay, you were good. And she doesn't even bother to say like, oh, I'm sorry. She just laughs. She doesn't say anything. Oh, are you okay? She just kind of laughs.
they locked eyes.
Yeah.
and,
And then she was like, huh. She laughs, and then
I ran you over.
yeah, it's like, hello. Anyway. Fuck off. Anyway,
So it's quotable.
it is very quotable. So I guess, I mean, I'm gonna say what there's out of this whole 2 movies, there's like 3 characters that are like staples, and all the other ones are kind of just like cannon fodder that are there for 5 minutes, then they die.
Yeah.
Nobody's important in this movie other than the 3 main characters: Billy, Richie, and Mother Superior. That's basically it.
Yeah, those are the definitely the main. I think Sister Margaret definitely is like on the
Yeah.
side. Like she was the voice of reason at the orphanage, where
Right.
she didn't actually really agree with Mother Superior.
Right.
Like Mother Superior is like, you aren't traumatized. It's not
Right.
like what your parents were killed.
Yeah, she's like, she created Billy.
She definitely
'Cause-
played a part.
Punishment is the way in that house, that orphanage.
Yeah.
Like, she believes punishment solves all issues,
Yeah.
solves all trauma.
Yeah.
Which, no. I don't think Billy did one thing wrong, but he always gets in trouble for it. He didn't do a singular thing wrong. All he did was leave his room.
Which was
And he
Sister
was
Margaret
told.
literally was told like,
Yeah.
you could go out and play.
Yeah, and he got beat. He got slapped with a belt.
Yeah.
And then the other thing he did, he punched Santa in the face.
Yeah. Respect it. Like, he was so
Yeah.
traumatized. Like,
Yeah.
his parents were literally killed by some doofus in a Santa costume who robbed a convenience store,
Santa.
then pretended to be broke down on the side of the road,
Yeah.
stopped his parents' car for help, and then gunned them down while Billy watched.
Yeah.
And
So, trauma.
Ricky was a baby, his brother.
Mhm.
So this is a perfect time to get into
Yeah, well,
explaining all the characters.
yeah, we're rambling. Let's get into a sequence here.
Yeah.
We're just rambling. We can't not talk about these movies like this. So we're gonna start off, like you said, with some characters.
So I'd say beginning, like, I went in order from like the first one to the second one, because these movies I would say like it's part one and part two, so they're almost one film together.
Yes.
Each individual film is respectively like not too long. Was it an hour and
It's like they're both like an hour and 20 minutes, but take the second one, cut off 40 minutes, and that's a new movie.
Yeah.
So it's basically a just continuation, and that would be like a 2-hour movie.
Honestly, if they just mashed it up and put it into one, like
They should.
they could.
A supercut.
Yeah. So for our first character, we got Billy Chapman, and let's just say Ricky as well. So Ricky was pretty much a baby in the car, and Billy was
7 or 8.
7 or 8 when his parents were pretty much killed.
Yeah.
So they're both orphaned as a kid, and they grew up in an orphanage, a Catholic religious
They're nuns.
place, nuns, sisters,
Yeah,
brothers and sisters.
Mother Superior.
Yeah, and then we have Mother Superior, who is the head sister
That bitch.
of the whole thing. Yeah.
Sorry.
She doesn't believe that Billy is traumatized. He lashes out and does stuff like he drew a picture of Santa killing a reindeer,
Mhm.
and he got in trouble for it. Like, yeah, you would get in trouble.
Yeah.
But the other sister, Margaret, was like, they all know his past, so like
Right.
it was so weird that
they
like,
can't connect the dots. Margaret was like, "Here's your evidence. It's still in him. He still remembers." And she's like, "No, he doesn't. He wasn't even there. He doesn't even know anything about it."
he literally
Like,
would
what?
get flashbacks in the middle of the movie, like of all what happened.
And she's like, "Nah, he knows nothing about that. Like, he literally witnessed it. What do you mean?"
That's very trauma. Like,
She's in denial.
really, it was really denial. Yeah, his parents, Jim and Ellie Chapman, sadly are killed.
Innocent people.
Yeah, part of it, and then he has a sexual nature to him because obviously the religion. He caught 2 people doing the deed through a keyhole,
Mhm.
and then Mother Superior came and punished them, and that's pretty much when she explained that sinning and all that, like,
Yeah.
they deserve to be punished if you're naughty. So that's where the Santa comes into, and then he becomes Santa Claus.
And his grandpa.
Yeah,
Everything, as I'm remembering, everything kind of makes sense now. Of like, specifically, every little detail adds up.
Yeah.
Like his grandpa was like, Santa will punish you if you do a singular naughty thing.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah,
Like, you have to be good all 365 to be good.
you can't be naughty once.
Yeah, it will punish you. Punish you!
Yeah, no, well, yeah, let's talk about the grandpa.
Psycho.
The parents and Billy and Ricky are visiting the grandpa who is supposedly comatose and just catatonic and just staring off, not responding to anything.
Mhm.
They all leave the room except Billy,
Mhm.
and then Grandpa turns to him and starts talking about how Santa is gonna punish him if he's not nice the whole year, and that's pretty much when his fear of Santa manifested.
And they don't even explain anything with the grandpa. Like, why?
Yeah, that was weird.
Like, they
It was
don't
weird. It
go
was
into
out of
detail.
nowhere.
Like, yeah, who is he? Why did he choose to talk to Billy and nobody else? Why is he faking it? You know,
Yeah, why? That
There's
that's
no
what really
reason.
confused me.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. Then on their way home, they run into that robber killer's
Yeah.
guy dressed as Santa trying to
Yeah, like
rob
why was he?
convenience stores.
He literally stole like $30 out of a.
Yeah, $30, and then why are you just killing people randomly? I
What
thought you were doing
happened?
it for money.
Like, what happened to like? He was never caught, or like it was never explained if he was caught or if he died anywhere. Like if he went to jail. Like they just kind of like glossed over it. It was so weird. They focused a lot on Billy's life at the orphanage.
Right.
But I feel like there was a lot of scenes that they could have cut out too.
A lot, yeah.
But there was a lot of unnecessary stuff that they
It's a lot of
added.
filler, but still fun nonetheless.
Yeah.
Who else we got? We got Mr. Sims.
Yeah, this is where the montage of
Yeah.
18-year-old Billy getting a job at a toy store.
He's working in the back rooms.
He
the
seems
warehouse.
normal now.
Yeah, normal guy. I guess anytime it's not Christmas season, he's normal. But then it kicks all back
Yeah.
in once the season starts for obvious reasons. So
He needs to just be locked up during Christmas. He'd be
Yeah.
so normal without
Mhm.
without all of it.
So, yeah, there's a fun little montage with some music of him just being a good citizen, just
Stacking boxes,
stacking
cutting boxes.
doing all that stuff. And then obviously Christmas time comes again during the store, so it's all festive. Then I guess we can do a little fast forwarding, just a little bit. And then their mall Santa like broke his ankle or something skiing.
Yeah.
So then they're like, "Well, we got no one to be Santa," and then they cut to like putting him in the Santa suit, and then you're like, oh, "Okay,
Yeah,
this is gonna go."
he's looking
south.
looking at himself in the mirror, and you
Yeah.
can tell he's like. I think that's
Yeah.
when he just like turns into what he was afraid of,
Right, he is Santa.
which is kind of a cool concept.
It is,
I
yeah.
did like the direction, but there was a lot of stuff that
Mhm.
was just
Yeah.
unnecessary and weird that they added in. There's like all that softcore sex
Yeah.
stuff. I was like,
Yeah, it's
for
like-
no reason.
Yeah, it's
which I cannot
there.
like. He was young. I guess it was the religious part they were trying to.
Yeah, how it's bad. So anytime he sees that triggers his brain
Yeah.
to punish. So ever since he puts the Santa suit on, I'm pretty sure from there on to the end of the movie, his only 2 lines are punish and naughty. Pretty much.
Oh, he talked to the girl because
Right.
before the store closes,
Yeah.
all the kids came and sat on his lap,
Mhm.
and he was like telling the the one girl, he's like, "Don't be naughty." Like I was like,
Yeah.
"What?"
He's like, "You're being naughty." Like she's like squirming. He's
Yeah.
like, "You're being naughty."
And then one of the parents was like, "Yeah, he's good with kids."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?"
The kid's clearly traumatized.
Yeah.
I was like, it's weird.
There
That's
was-
weird stuff.
There was one girl, Pamela, that he did have a thing for. He liked her, but I think at that age he didn't know. He didn't actually know what to feel. He had like a dream,
Mhm.
and then that kind of like weirded him out.
Mm.
And then when he saw his other coworker or supervisor with the girl, and he was trying to get with her, but she was saying no. And then he saw he saw them, and then that's when he started the killing.
Yeah.
That's what everything flashed back to him.
Right.
Everything, and then that's when we start all the killing.
Yeah. Like he was at first, you're like, all right, he's clearly just trying to protect her.
Yeah, which
But
I could see. Yeah,
He literally kills him. So yeah, I get it. And she's like, "You're a monster. What are you doing?" Like, for one, you were like about to get raped.
Yeah.
And he saved her, but yeah, you killed him. So it kind of makes sense. You just murder somebody. So like at first you're like, all right, he's just trying to save her, but then she gets all pissed at him and like slaps him, and then he's like, all right, I'm just gonna kill you.
yeah. He pretty much had such a like twisted skew from Mother Superior on like
Yeah.
what was naughty and what was like right that
Mhm.
he didn't understand.
Right.
He didn't understand any of it.
Everything's naughty.
Yeah. Just being
Literally.
bad, not being nice.
Yeah. You bully somebody, naughty, you're dead.
Yeah,
I'm gonna kill
pretty
you.
much.
I'm gonna kill you.
He didn't like bullies.
You call somebody names, naughty. Naughty. Punish.
And then that's when they hunted down the Santa killer.
Yeah.
That's when everyone was made aware. Sister Margaret made a call
Mhm.
and was like, "This kid Billy,
Mhm.
this is your guy.
Yeah.
He's got some trauma.
Yeah.
He's trauma dumping on everybody who
Mhm.
gets in his way."
He's letting it out. So he's just trying to get back. So from here on out, he's trying to get back to the orphanage to kill Mother Superior.
Yeah.
Because she started it all. And that's his main target. So he causes some chaos on his way. And then we'll get into that chaos.
Yeah.
So I think after killing the people in the store, he just kills everybody.
Yeah, it was basic kills. It
Yeah.
wasn't like anything. Honestly, the best kills. What were your favorite kills?
I think the best one was probably when he pinned the girl on the
Yeah,
antlers.
I'd have to agree.
It was probably the most creative one. All the other ones are kind of just
Yeah.
basic, like quick.
Pretty much.
That was the only one that was creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes to the house first, right? Then it's the kids on the sleigh.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so he ends up like at these random house. Like, why would he go to that house? I don't know.
Oh, he's visiting like Santa, I guess. Like he's
Yeah,
pretending to be Santa. He's just
yeah,
kind of.
maybe.
He meets the little girl and the sister and the boyfriend.
Mhm.
They were getting it on,
Mhm.
and then she opens the door, buck ass naked.
Yeah,
No, why?
it's like, what do you like? Put something on.
Something, just
Yeah.
like anything, like
Yeah.
a blanket.
Weird choice.
She heard bells, which she thought was the cat to let in.
Right. Which
But it wasn't.
again, it was a cat at first. The cat did show up.
I don't think it was the cat.
It probably wasn't the cat, but the cat, they made you think it was the cat, like
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
And then she kept hearing it, and then he bust down the door like, Here's Johnny style.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I think that was a fun sequence.
Yeah. And then they tussle. He obviously is a lot stronger. Just picks her up.
Yeah, he's like a fully grown, like
He's strong.
he
He
picked.
picked her up with one hand,
He did.
and he like lifted her completely. Like whoever.
Yeah.
I assume that's the actual actor who did it. Like strong.
I know they probably had like a
Another
wire
guy,
somewhere maybe.
because like he like with ease, like over the head.
It was also shadowed like
Yeah.
cinematography. So
Right.
I don't think it was like 100%.
All right.
I think the actor was 22 at the time. He was playing an 18-year-old.
Gotcha.
Well, when he first was going to be hired for the job at Toy Store, Sister Margaret was telling the owner,
Mhm.
"Oh, this is a good boy."
Yeah. Boy.
And then the guy's like, "Nah, I don't want some boy."
yeah,
And then they cut to him, and he's like a full ass grown man.
He's like rich and stuff. Yeah. So that worked for them.
Didn't work out for them though.
Didn't work out. It worked out for them in the beginning, and then it didn't.
And then he asked the girl, "Have you been naughty
Yeah.
at all?"
The little girl at
Pretty
the
much.
house.
And she's like, "Nope."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay."
So he gives her a box cutting knife.
Yeah, with blood
Kind of
on
bloody, yeah.
Yeah.
And then she kind of looks at it, and then he just walks away.
it. Yeah.
So she didn't die, because she was nice.
He gave her a present.
And then the boyfriend, they have a little tussle, and then he just kind of throws him out the window, like Jason style. And then
There's a
he
shard
gets
of glass.
giant shard of glass in his stomach, like comically large, and then one like in his head, so he's dead.
I don't think he's.
Yeah.
No way.
And then like, I forgot what scene like specifically comes first, but it's not that important. So now the cops are on the hunt, like they're looking for Santa.
Yeah, this is where the horror, the crime aspect
Yeah.
kind of came. They were like, they brought in a detective, and he's like on the case. It was a weird. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
really see it as a horror crime. It's like I
It's-
find it more of a slasher.
It's just a slasher. Yeah.
Like I don't know why they call it a horror. I think
Every horror movie is a crime. Everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're on the hunt for literally every guy who's just like Santa, because this guy in the Santa suit's killing everybody.
he's going into houses and killing people.
Right. And they it's one of the things that I question. I guess he was last seen in a Santa suit, or he was last overheard that he was in a suit.
Yeah.
So I guess they're just going to assume he's still in it. Because what if he wasn't? What if he took the suit off? They would never.
That's the
find out.
only description they have.
Yeah. So I guess they have to go up.
Well,
with
I guess they know what he looks like, what Billy looks like. They probably have a
Right.
picture. So that plus the Santa suit, but like it's kind of hard to distinctively see
Yeah.
somebody with a
Right.
Santa suit. They mistake some guy
Something.
going into a house
Yeah.
with a ladder.
Uh-huh.
Definitely suspicious from the cops' point of view.
Uh-huh.
They barge into the house,
Mhm.
and it was just the dad pretending to be Santa for the
girl.
the daughter,
Yeah.
and then ruined everything. Like,
Yeah.
Dad, like,
Daddy. The cop goes.
yeah,
Like again, like over the top. Daddy. Like you had us barging in this house for a guy in dress up. But again,
Yeah.
like, how would he know?
A lot of these characters were kind of dumb.
They were pretty.
They didn't
Like,
make good. Mother
big dumb.
Superior was like dumb as
Yeah.
hell.
Yeah.
The
The only sensible one was probably Sister Margaret.
Yeah.
Of like the adults.
yeah, Officer,
yeah.
the one guy, Officer Barnes, the one who goes downstairs in the
Like,
orphanage of
goofball.
the shed or wherever it was. I don't even like.
That montage.
Yeah, he's like, they did really.
Yeah.
He went like this, then they did a quick cut, and then he went like that, and then like that. It was so goofy.
Yeah, like typical like copper like jumping around a corner, but there's like nobody there.
It was
And
goofy.
he did it 3
That was-
times.
It
And then
was-
they wait. There's like a whole 2-minute sequence of him going in a basement, just looking for nothing, and nothing ever happens until he gets back up. Like you don't have to film a whole 2-minute scene of nothing.
I guess it was the suspense, but
I
it
get
didn't
but
really work.
It didn't work for suspense.
No.
But before we get to that part more in detail, he
Yeah.
ends up just on some hill, and there's these 2 kids wanting to sleigh.
Yeah.
Sled down this hill, and then they get bombarded by 2 bullies who are like we're gonna sled.
They look like 30-year-old.
Yeah, they look
Well, the
way
one
old.
kid looked like he was
Yeah.
30.
like way old.
They bullied them off their own sleds,
Yeah.
and then they were the ones to go down,
Uh-huh.
and they met their doom.
Which didn't really look like they were having that much fun on the slide. They were going pretty slow, but they had to act like they were having so much fun. It was like it was
They were probably like age like 17,
right.
16 maybe, 15.
Mhm.
I was like, I mean, I had fun sledding
Yeah.
as a kid, but it's like they looked a little bit older than that, and
Yeah.
like
The hill wasn't that big.
it wasn't even a big hill. Like
Yeah.
it was just weird.
It just came up weird. So yeah, the one guy, he gets his head chopped off. He let the other one live though, because I think he was kind of just there. He didn't do any of the bullying. It was mainly the other one, because they only showed him kill the one. They cut his head off, and then he didn't do anything to the other one.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I guess he wasn't naughty because he didn't.
because he was watching the whole time.
Yeah, he was just there. He was just an accomplice. Then we get back to the orphanage.
Yeah, the janitor. I think who was it that dressed
Yeah,
up as
the janitor.
Yeah, they thought
The
he
deaf
was.
janitor.
Yeah, there's a janitor who is deaf, and he just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
It was
he's the Santa for the orphanage.
And you see him walking towards the kids outside,
Mhm.
and the police officers tell him to stop, but he's deaf, so
Yeah. They open fire.
they just shot him.
He's killing
They
the
had
rest of
orders
them.
to just shoot on sight for the
Right.
most part.
And all the kids are outside, so they literally witnessed this cop killing Santa,
Yeah.
who they thought was the real Santa.
Yeah.
He
And then
killed him.
Ricky, Billy's little brother, is now a little bit older now, like I
Right.
guess about the same age
Mhm.
he was when
89.
Billy's parents were killed.
Yeah.
I think probably 8, around that age. And he thought that the Santa was Billy.
Yeah, well, we find out later, which doesn't make any sense. But
Yeah, I don't know why. No.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the second one is definitely like
It's weird.
I have a theory.
Yeah, it's weird. So yeah, they killed that Santa, and they're like, "Oh, it's not our guy. That doesn't match the description of Billy." So
Yeah.
then they're like, "All right, Mother Superior doesn't believe anybody's coming back to kill them." For
Yeah,
whatever
she's
reason.
like, we're fine.
Yeah, no one's getting in here. Like, we're fine. So the cop's like, "All right, I'm gonna roam around. I'm gonna look outside."
He should have just stayed in there.
Yeah, there's only one way in, the door. Why not just stay there?
Yeah, there was no need
Yeah.
to. You should have waited for backup.
Yeah.
That's what he should have done.
So then we get back to our little montage.
What a dummy.
Little that bitch Superior.
Yeah.
Then yeah. Naughty. The cop goes up the stairs from like the basement thing after that useless montage. And then as he's like walking out the door, he just hear punish, and then he just gets axed right to the stomach, and then he falls down the stairs, so he's dead.
Yeah.
Punish.
Officer down.
And then Billy just walks up to the door, and he's like waving his hand, like, "Come here, open the door," because it's locked from the outside, I assume. So he needs somebody to open. So one of the kids run.
And Mother
Yeah.
Superior's like, "Where are you going?"
Yeah, he's like, "Where are you going?" And he's like, "No, don't open the door." And this girl's like, "But it's Santa." And then he lets him in, and he's all, being friendly.
Yeah, he's hiding his
Yeah.
axe behind
And
his,
he's got his axe,
back.
and he's holding the kid, and they're walking forward. And then she just goes, "Santa's not real." Santa's not real, to try to fix Billy. Finally, at the last second, to not force Santa on.
To all the kids.
Yeah. Santa's not real. I hope no kids are watching this.
Well, they shouldn't be.
Yeah, they shouldn't be. That's your fault. Anyway, Santa's not real. And then you get the old naughty, and he tries to go up and kill her, but then he gets shot in the back and dies. So he doesn't kill Mother Superior.
No.
And then it was the Sister Margaret and the detective, or the main chief, I guess. He killed him. So then he's like, "Santa's gone. You're safe now." Because
Yeah.
no one's gonna harm them.
Yeah, and then they pan to Ricky.
Yeah.
He's got this mean face, and
Uh-huh.
he turns to Mother Superior. I don't know who he was looking at, but he goes, "Punish."
Yeah. And like, naughty.
So
So then,
Yeah.
he's gonna, obviously there's gonna be a second one where he's gonna take up the mantle of Billy.
which I have a theory.
Yeah.
There's really backed up with nothing. But
Yeah, but it makes
it
sense.
does. It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense.
It makes sense, but at the end of the day, the movie's just so poorly directed and written that they didn't do that on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, it's just poorly made.
Yeah.
They didn't think about it.
Still love the films though.
Yeah, it's still good. So if you made this film when you're watching, you did a good job.
Did a good, like, for what it was.
You did
It's fun.
you did a good job as you could have. You get our approval. We liked it.
We liked it. That's all that matters.
I liked it. So that's the end of the first one.
Yeah.
Then the second one
Second one's
is the first one.
Yeah.
Basically.
lots of reshots, so we're not going to like go over all that.
We're gonna
We
talk
kind
about
of explained.
the new stuff.
Yeah.
And then again, it's literally reused footage, but it's also just the first one just put with Ricky. Basically, it's the
Yeah.
same story. In a way.
Yeah, well, he doesn't really have a Santa outfit until the very, very end.
Yeah. I felt like it was barely Christmas in the second one until like the last 20 minutes.
That's why it's a part 2. It's like,
Right. It like wasn't Christmas.
yeah.
It's an interrogation film.
Well,
He's being
I think
interrogated.
so. The first film they had Santa, like it was pretty much mainly like them, the Santa killer.
Yeah.
They advertised that.
Mhm.
Parents didn't like that,
Right.
so they backtracked. And then I guess maybe when they advertised the second one,
Mhm.
they didn't really have the Santa. It was called Silent Night, Deadly Night, but they didn't really have Santa much. It's like
Right.
Santa advertised.
Probably.
And watching the whole film, and then the end, pretty much when he tries to kill, when he kills Mother Superior,
Right.
is pretty much when he puts on the suit
Yeah.
at the end. Like Ricky, that's
Mhm.
like that was. But everything that triggered Ricky was just the color red.
The color red, yeah. But he also adapts some trauma that Billy had, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like there's flashbacks when stuff happens, but it's stuff that happened to Billy.
Yeah.
It's like what?
So you just have this psychiatrist coming in, which is like another psychiatrist that is talking to Ricky.
Yeah.
Ricky's gone through this several times.
And I guess he's killed all the other ones. How does he get away with this?
I don't know.
Or they did this give up and this is the first one he's
Well,
killed?
maybe. Well, maybe I'll get to that. But I think when he got triggered by the color on the
Right.
napkin, he maybe did actually see it.
Right. Yeah, maybe. So yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, the psychiatrist. Yeah, I guess he's trying to be like this. This psychiatrist is like, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm
Yeah.
gonna figure this guy out.
He's gonna be the one. And he does figure him out.
Yeah.
He does, but then it's too late.
So Ricky's just pretty much getting asked all these questions. He answers all of them.
Mhm.
He's just telling everything that's happened, and actually some things that surprised the psychiatrist. He's like, this wasn't in the notes from the past psychiatrist.
Yeah, which is funny because it's all the stuff after the first movie.
Yeah.
It's all the new stuff.
Well, maybe he's killed more than what was shown in the film from other
Maybe.
people.
Maybe.
Maybe he's had a really long, and he was only caught until Garbage Day.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Garbage day. The best of days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think is the first line of dialogue Ricky says, "Fuck off, Doc." I think that's his first line of dialogue.
Yeah.
He's like the psychiatrist is like Howard is his name or Henry.
It is Henry.
Henry. He's like, you can call me Henry or you can call me Doc, whatever suits you. And then he's like, "Fuck off, Doc," just like that. And that like those mannerisms. And like there's a lot of zoom ins on his face. Like literally your whole screen is just his face. And it's just hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious.
It's fun. I mean, knowing now that he had conflicting direction on how to
Right.
portray the character, I think it was still fun.
Oh
think-
yeah, it's still
I wouldn't blame the actor for the way he acted.
No, yeah.
I think I don't know what other films he's been in, but
Right. Like you could tell if anybody acts like this, Lord help them. So obviously I think it makes sense that he was directed like this.
yeah, I had like a suspicion that it was like purposely,
Right.
but like why was it purposely done that way?
Right. Yeah,
really
why
the
would you go
question.
way over the top? Did they want to lessen the seriousness of a Santa killer and make it more goofy? Like
I don't know. It wasn't
Maybe
even really
that was-
Santa throughout the whole thing.
yeah. Maybe that was the vibe, make it more comedic like so it's less infringing on a holiday. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was just conflicting directions from
Yeah.
the writer and the director. They couldn't make up their mind,
Right.
and think of one specific portrayal.
Mhm.
So that's what we got.
But it worked.
But yeah,
We like it. We like it. It leaves for some good laughs.
it does.
Yeah, I don't know how to really explain this one other than he's being interrogated, and then I guess we'll just skip to the new stuff. Like
Yeah,
it's just Ricky's remembering stuff when he was literally like 1 year old.
yeah. He's explaining to the psychiatrist what happened that night
Yeah.
when his parents were killed, and the psychiatrist was like, "How would you know that?"
And he literally goes, "I was there.
Yeah,
You were one." I'm like, what?
he was he was an infant.
I was there. What do you mean?
So that's
Barely.
where my theory, where I think somehow towards the end, Billy became Ricky
Yeah, like,
somehow
his soul like went into Ricky and
he
turned him.
just kept saying like, I was there. How I know this. This is what happened.
Yeah.
But like, how? There was things that Billy did
Mhm.
that he was remembering flashbacks and saying how everything went down as Billy
Yeah.
when Ricky was still in the orphanage.
Yeah.
And he was like, this happened. This is how it happened. Like, well, how would you know?
Yeah, how would you
You
know?
weren't even there either.
And it's not like people could tell him because they can't.
He was like an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
So
And like, why did he think that was Billy in the Santa suit coming to the
yeah, why would
orphanage?
he? Yeah,
Like, that doesn't have to do anything with Billy being in Ricky because that's before he died. But how would he have even known to assume that it's Billy?
yeah.
It
The
was
kids
like
were outside
years later.
unaware.
Yeah.
That what was going on. That Billy was dressed as Santa.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Like, they wouldn't have told the kids, "Hey, there's a killer psychomaniac dressed as Santa, and it's your
Yeah.
brother,
They were just outside, and then Santa janitor coming in.
Billy."
He thought it was Billy. Like, why would you know that?
Billy?
I don't know.
And then
It was
when
weird.
they flashed and they killed him, he like flinched in the movie. Billy? God, you're so over the top. It all makes sense now.
It does.
That it was literally just told him to overact. But it makes it so good. It's so
So yeah, all these flashbacks. He actually had an okay childhood. Honestly, Ricky
it was
did.
normal.
Like after the orphanage and all that. He kept saying that the orphanage was hell. But like from the perspective of Billy versus Ricky, it always seemed like the sister, the other nuns were like, "Oh, Ricky's a good kid, but Billy's a troublesome kid." So like,
Yeah.
what went wrong with Ricky at the orphanage? Like,
I mean,
what?
we can only assume after the end of the first one. Like, we don't know how old he is, 8, 9, because he's up there until 18, obviously.
Yeah.
So maybe past then it was the same thing that
Well,
just happened to Billy.
He gets adopted before Billy.
Right.
did,
Yeah.
At that
Oh
age.
yeah, he doesn't get kicked out. He literally gets adopted. So yeah, I don't. His time at the orphanage was fine.
Yeah, but the only thing he displayed was the color red triggered him in
Yes.
his anxiety and all of that.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until I don't know if this was his very first kill, but he comes across a red Jeep
Yeah.
and a couple is having a picnic in a field. The guy again tries to put himself onto the girl
Mhm.
and she doesn't like it. And then Ricky sees that. It's like a big theme that keeps
Yeah.
going on in both of these films.
Mhm.
And the guy goes away. He's like, "All right, I'm done. I'll be back
I'm
though.
getting a beer.
I'm here and
Yeah.
we'll continue." Like
Yeah.
she didn't like that, so he goes back to the Jeep, and Ricky somehow
The guy
teleported
like
in.
here's the Jeep. He literally leans in and like I don't know what he's doing, and then like on the seat, and then he comes out and the camera pans over and Billy's in the seat. No, Ricky's in the seat. Like, how'd you get there? Like, did you just
Quietly.
teleport? Or was the seat all the way back and he like went up? Like, I don't know how they did that.
Yeah, then he runs him over back and forth.
Like 5 times.
The girl is watching this.
Yeah.
He gets out of the car, looks at the girl, and then
Mhm.
she just goes, "Thank you."
And then she walks away.
No, he walked away. She
Yeah.
stood there,
Yeah, and
and
it's like
she's just kind of looking.
yeah, and it's like
I mean,
he's
the guy
gonna
deserved it.
accept murder.
The guy probably deserved it, but it was kind of
Yeah.
because the past time when Billy killed the girl that he liked,
Mhm.
even though she was in trouble,
Right.
he killed the guy, but she didn't like that.
Yeah,
That's
she
so
had a
weird.
more, I guess, reasonable response.
Yeah.
Like if somebody was doing that to you and you witnessed them murdering that person, would you just be like, "Oh, thanks, see ya, have a nice day"? Like you would be somewhat
like
concerned
in
about your own life
certain
too.
circumstances.
Yeah, like the implications.
It's because of the implication.
So that's interesting. And
Yeah.
then, one of my other favorite scenes, I think was after this, was when he was working at, I think, a restaurant, taking out the trash.
Yeah, I think he was just the dishwasher.
Yeah, he was a dishwasher, and then he was taking out trash, and he sees like this like I don't know mob deal or some deal going.
Yeah, some guy who
awry.
loaned money, and then he's a mobster, and he's like, "You better have my money."
And he's like, on second thought, I hope you don't get my money because I'm enjoying this. He's like beating him up, and then he like goes to walk away, and Ricky sees it. And he's like, "No, you're naughty, so I'm gonna punish you." And then he like walks into him, and then he's like,
He didn't
Step
move.
back.
He didn't
Yeah.
move at all, dude.
he's like a brick wall. And then he keeps to go a walk, and then he like stops him with his hand, and the guy's like, "All right, let's go."
Yeah.
And then like off screen, he gets literally like manhandle tossed into like trash cans, and then Ricky just these guys are like have superhuman strength.
Yeah, they somehow
He
have
just grabs him by the neck and just lifts him up like this, and he's just like
takes an umbrella,
yeah, and he's punching
stabs
him.
him through.
He's punching him in the face, and he just has the same stern look, like it's not even affecting him. It's hilarious. And then he picks up an umbrella, sticks it in his stomach all the way through him, and then it opens up.
Yeah, he opens it up and
Yeah.
And I guess that's Ricky gets away with it because
Gets away with everything.
it's in a back alley, like
Yeah.
behind where like nobody would know that it was him. He just seems like a normal guy, other than getting triggered by the color red.
Right. Which the color red's everywhere. Like you gotta think how many people he's actually killed by accident because of the color red.
That's why I feel like the psychiatrist, when he's like, this wasn't in my notes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that Ricky hasn't told.
Right. Yeah. The whole movie's just Ricky. So then we follow.
Yeah.
He's talking to. I guess that's when he gets like run over after that, and he meets that girl.
He's got a motorcycle.
They ride together. They're having fun.
It was his first time.
Yeah, it was his first time, and he thought it was hers too, but it wasn't.
It's so weird.
I thought it was hers too. Not that has any. That doesn't play a part again later. Like that specific like moment. Like, why would that trigger you? I don't know.
Like, it was implied that like maybe she had an ex, but it was like
right.
he implied it was more than that, but
right.
It was weird. It wasn't like that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm. Right. So yeah, then they're going on a date. They're at the movie theater, and funny enough, they're watching the first movie in the theater. Literally, they're watching part 1, Silent Night, Deadly Night, because the scene of the Santa robbing the guy literally plays out, and I guess they just didn't have the budget to refilm like a new scene. So they're not really watching the first film, but that literal scene shot for shot's in that movie. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So then after that scene, he's like, oh, I'm enjoying this movie. I'm really liking this.
Yeah, he was like, at first he didn't actually like the film, I think.
Yeah, he was kind of like, just, all right, whatever.
Or before the movie started.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The movie was...
attraction.
Yeah. And the guy was being loud in the back.
Yeah.
So he gets triggered. I forget what he saw. He saw something. Oh, wait, was it? I think then he, like, when the film starts, then it's the Santa robber robbing the bank, or robbing the convenience store, right. And he's in red.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, this movie is this. You like this movie?
Yeah, you like this stuff? And he's just like glued to it. He's like, what? Like he can't stop looking at it. And then the people in the back are like, this movie stinks. This is not. So he just gets pissed off. He just goes off screen for a little bit. Then we get the interaction with Chip.
Yeah.
The Chad.
And I would say the best kill in that movie.
Yeah. The Chad. We'll get to that kill in a minute.
The Chippity Chad.
Chip on the old block. So,
knock your block off. So that last episode.
Yeah, we did. We're going to do knock my block off.
Yeah, we're going to say that every episode.
Yeah, that's our thing. No, the guy in the back, another funny scene, that are just being loud and like throwing popcorn. Like, there's two guys, and he's like, the way the camera shots go, like he's like leaning to talk to his buddy, then it goes away, and then he's leaning again, and then like on the third time, like Ricky's face just is right next to him, like he just appears.
This man teleports.
Yeah, he literally just teleports, and then he's like chokes him out on the floor. I guess he kills him.
Yeah, he chokes him out, and he's just nobody even bats. Everyone's like, yeah, oh well.
Yeah, nobody like notices or sees or anything. It's like very weird.
Well, they thought that I don't think they saw that it was Ricky. They thought that he was just kind of like pretending.
Gotcha.
Because they looked back, Jennifer and Chip, and they didn't see that Ricky was.
Yeah, they just saw heard commotion or something.
He was pretty much down on the floor. Mm. All you saw was his hands and feet up in the air.
Right.
Struggling. Yeah. So they probably thought he was being funny again.
Right. Ricky.
So that like, don't be naughty and don't disturb films.
Yeah. Don't disturb films. That's my number one pet peeve. I hate that. I hate it.
Or else Ricky will get you.
Yeah, we'll turn into Ricky. We'll come after you. He's the Krampus. Ricky will come after you. God, I'd actually enjoy that. Like, seeing him in person, like in character. I just laugh at him. I'd be like, are you serious?
Yeah, if anybody knows where to get the sweater from the movie, like a very great screen accurate, let us know.
We want it. Santa suit, that can be anything, but the sweater, we want it.
We'll pay $1,000. No, I'm just kidding. Not 1,000.
2,000.
$2,500.
Take it or leave it. Then I guess we get the scene with Chip again.
Yeah.
The intro to the garbage days.
They're just walking. They're walking in the suburbs.
Mhm.
They see Chip working on his car,
Mhm.
and then she's like, Jennifer's like, "Oh, great."
Yeah, like oh Chip, another interaction.
They had fun times in the back seat of their car.
Yeah, Chip made that very clear.
Yeah, it was like so unnecessary. Like,
And he's like,
oh, big deal.
Yeah, and I guess Ricky's known at that point to be kind of a weirdo around town because he kind of makes fun of him. Like, oh, you're with that guy, like.
Oh yeah, they
that
call
freak, you know?
they call him. He's called Kong. Like,
Yeah.
I guess he's like a
He's strong, right?
brickhead. Like,
Yeah.
I think just
Just
so like
a big oaf.
yeah, just a big oaf, and he's just like he liked the violent films.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was
Kong.
just.
Oh, you're with Kong.
He's like
now?
big as hell. Like, why are you gonna pick a
Yeah.
fight with that guy?
Yeah,
Like,
literally.
don't.
So Ricky goes into his red car. So
Yeah.
he goes into his trance, his big old stern, weird face, and then he kind of just kills Chip. He picks him up, shoves him into the car, puts the jumper cables
cable.
like into his mouth, I guess on his tongue,
Yeah.
and then turns the voltage way up high. So then he literally
Pop his eye,
his eye pops, and then Ricky just kind of like smiles and laughs at it.
and Jennifer's like, "What the?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Why would you do?"
Yeah, and then he kills her, Jennifer.
Yeah.
He does regret.
Yeah.
Like he wished he didn't. It was the only good thing that ever happened in his life.
She was nice to him,
She
But-
was.
but that color red.
Red car?
Uh-oh.
God. Sorry, I'm not
Oh,
Ricky.
I'm already wearing that.
I'm not Ricky, so. Yeah, so then Chip's dead. Then we get the best scene in all of cinema.
Yeah.
So this idiot cop.
It's a long ass scene. It,
Yeah,
it
it's a
drags
one-shot.
on, but it's so
Yeah.
No, there's cuts.
No, yeah, sorry. It's not a one shot, but a scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, scene. Anyway.
Reverse.
Reverse that, and yeah. So this cop literally witnesses Ricky murder the girl, Jennifer, and for whatever reason he doesn't like shoot him immediately. Like he literally just killed somebody. You would think that he'd fire a warning shot or something. Ricky's just standing there, like
Well, I guess he
laughing.
didn't have a weapon on him, but the cop,
Ricky didn't.
he's
but-
like, "Put your hands up."
yeah, he's like, put your hand up, and like
He walks
Ricky just-
towards him
yeah.
and gets so close to him. Like,
Ricky-
why would you get that close?
yeah, Ricky's just standing there laughing at him.
He's like, "What are you gonna do?"
Yeah, what are you gonna? He literally puts the gun like to his head, and then the cop's like, "I know how to use this thing," and then Ricky just takes it, turns it around, and just shoots him in the head, and he dies. It's like, what? Like you're a cop. You have all the tools you need from a distance to do your job.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, and then he gets a gun. He's laughing at it. He's like,
He's
then-
got this maniacal laugh
Yeah.
that's so over the top.
and then he just walks around the neighborhood. Some guy comes out of his house.
He
He's like,
peeks out of his house. He goes, "What's going on here?"
Yeah,
It cuts to him, and then it cuts back to Ricky. Then it cuts back to the guy, and it's actually not even the same actor that came
Yeah.
out in the first
Yeah.
place. Like,
it looks like a completely.
he's
different
wearing the
guy.
same stuff, but the hair was like a different color. Like,
yeah, it looks like a completely different guy.
and then he shoots him outside of his porch.
Yeah, he just killed him.
He's like, "Motherfucker!"
yeah, motherfucker. Like, he's just on a killing spree.
So he's just walking. He's literally strolling down in broad daylight.
Yeah.
Some guy's putting on his putting out his trash,
yeah.
and he goes. He sees Ricky, and Ricky goes, "Garbage day."
Yeah. And the guy's like, no! And then he shoots him, and he dies. He kills him. Like,
He
he's just
starts-
killing his innocent people. No color red. He's just full on psycho now.
Yeah.
Garbage day. No. And like this weird face. And then after that scene, it does this weird like pan shot. And I find that shot hilarious. Like I don't know if you know like exactly what I'm talking about, but it's like somewhat below, then it like pans over his face. And like just the way he looks right after that, he kills him.
I think I have to rewatch that.
Yeah. I don't know, pull it up. I don't
This
know.
instant.
Pull it up this instant as I'm talking and watch it right now.
Nah, I want to.
Fine. Then we get other great stuff. He's walking just on the road now, and his car is just driving a random car. And then he's like, all right. He just takes the gun and shoots the guy in the car.
Yeah.
And then the car like jumps over this like dirt pile and blows up. But the stunt double for Ricky has like an afro, so it doesn't look anything like him.
And the guy was the stunt guy was like really close to the car. Like,
He
I'm
was,
pretty sure it's practical effects.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like the stunt stunt guy almost got hit.
Yeah, because he kind of moved too. Like he did like a little like last.
He
minute
barely
thing.
moved.
Yeah.
And it almost hit him.
Right. And then a little girl bumps into him on a bicycle, trike,
Yeah, and she goes, "Excuse me."
and he goes, "That's okay," and just keeps walking.
He's like,
"That's
he
okay."
like smirks at her. Like,
Yeah.
it's so
It's
it's
just
so
so
weird.
it's amazing.
Art would have killed her.
Yeah. Brutally. And then he gets caught. He's about to kill himself. He's like, he keeps laughing, and he's out of bullets.
Yeah, that's when we come back to the psychiatrist
Yeah.
and him, and he's like,
No more
"No
bullets.
more bullets."
I was like, dumb kids.
Yeah.
Like I was dumb back then, you know.
Yeah. And then that's when we find out that he killed the psychiatrist as he was talking to him.
Yeah.
He strangled him with the tape
Mhm.
from the recorder, and then he marches out, and then you hear him attacking everybody in the building, walking out, and then everybody knows that he's at large.
Right. So then they're like trying to, because I guess they know obviously he's going back to the orphanage, like obviously.
Well, no, they thought he was going to go back to the orphanage.
No, like that was their first, like
Yeah,
obviously
they
he's gonna
thought
look
it was
for
the orphanage.
Superior. Like,
Oh, was that?
guess.
I don't know. Was that Sister Margaret? Was that? I think it's a different actress who plays the
she
sister.
was not the same ethnicity. So
I don't know if it was supposed to be Sister Margaret again.
because she
Or-
would be older, she wouldn't look that young. So
So
I
Mother
guess they
Superior
just-
was retired at that
Yeah.
point.
and a different actor again.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Doesn't
Her
sound the
face,
same.
she had
A stroke.
a stroke. Her whole side of the face. I
think it
mean,
was-
I'm not an expert on strokes. Correct me if I'm wrong, but her whole side of her face, that I guess had the stroke, was like, it wasn't. It looked kind of burned,
Yeah, it was like bubbly.
like it was boiled and burned. Like, is that what happens with a stroke?
I thought it just droops.
Yeah, I thought it was like the facial muscles and all that. I didn't think it was like scarred.
Yeah. But yeah, then obviously he's gonna try to get Mother Superior.
Yeah.
So
They figure out that
Yeah.
that's where he's going.
right, but it's, oh, they were tired, and he's like, well, he's gonna find out where she lives.
How
So-
would he know?
Exactly. So of course he goes to a phone booth, and there's a Santa in there. You don't get to see the guy, but you hear like off screen like he kills him, and then he calls Mother Superior, and then he's like, Santa's back, and then he hangs up, and then that's where he gets the suit. He puts it on. Somehow he gets the same exact axe. I don't know where he gets it, but he finds an axe.
Probably found it at a store.
So he has the axe. Then he goes in. Then it's like a little house chase scene
Yeah.
with Ricky and
She's
Mother
in a
Superior.
wheelchair.
Yeah, and somehow she has a wheelchair for downstairs and one for upstairs. So my question is, I don't think she had one of those things that like takes her up. I didn't see it.
No, I don't.
It wasn't obvious. Only how did she get down or up? Did she just crawl?
I don't know.
Because no one else was in the house that like lived there with her to take care of her.
There was. I think they left her
Oh.
alone.
Oh,
I'm
and
pretty
maybe
sure.
they helped. I was like, how did she get upstairs? Anyway,
Maybe she needs a one floor room. She
Yeah.
needs a one floor place
Yeah.
to stay.
so he has a little chase. There's some funny lines in there. She's like, she locks the door. She's hiding behind it, and then he's like breaking down the axe, and he's like looking through, and then she almost like shuts the door in his hand. She's like, that was close.
Wait, so did she push the dresser with her wheelchair? She was like pushing it.
Yeah.
All right, back then,
Oh, they're heavy as hell.
dressers are heavy as hell.
Even now, yeah.
There's no way she pushed that.
I know. It's a movie. Everybody.
It
in
looked
this-
light and just
Yeah. Everybody in this movie has some sort of human strength, superhuman strength. Everybody has an upgrade. Yeah. What else happens there? Anything important?
the
Anything
chase and
fun? Like the other guys get there. Well, he catches up with the Superior, and then he goes to like swing, and then it cuts away, and then they get into the other cops get into the house. They're looking, and they find her. And
she
trying to like
she looks catatonic. She's not
yeah,
moving.
She's just sitting on, like by the table, and then they get closer to her. And they like shake her to like I guess wake her up, and then her head just falls off.
Yep.
So she's dead.
She is dead.
They got their revenge on her.
Ding dong.
The witch is
The
dead.
bitch is dead.
Bitch superior. Well, they're superior. So yeah, she dies. Then he's about to kill everybody else, but then he gets shot multiple times. Falls through the glass door. He's dead. And then
Well, there's part 3, part 4, part 5, but
they're
they
not. Part 3 has Ricky, but after that, it's
but it's a different actor.
yeah, and then it's like a reboot.
It's like not. I don't know.
I never saw them.
Neither did I.
I
I was never interested.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I don't think that.
They're not going to be the same.
Yeah.
Um.
They should have had Eric Freeman back.
So wait, why they pan over to Ricky again? Because someone screamed. Someone die? I thought someone died last minute, and then they pan back over to his dead body, and he was alive. Because there was screaming as he opened his eyes. But why? Someone died somehow, but no one was there to kill him. So
A lot of the decisions didn't make sense,
No.
so
they didn't.
it's odd.
Yeah.
Probably. It was just
Anyway,
an odd.
He's not
edit.
dead. Yeah. So he's alive,
It was just an odd edit.
and then it ends.
And that's
Those are Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Great movies. I recommend them. At least once in your life, give it a watch.
yeah.
Expect it to be bad.
Yeah, don't expect it to be like a masterpiece. Expect just to kind of have fun
Yeah.
and just be entertained
Yeah.
about of all the absurdity.
Mhm.
It's just
It's a hell of a time.
yeah. And if you can't, I mean, I don't know. The second one's harder to watch
It is.
if you watch the first one.
If you watch the first one, give it like 2 weeks, then watch the second one. Because then you'll like forget what happened. and it'll be
All right,
remembered.
either do that way or you watch the second one first
Right.
and then watch the first one. Because
No matter what you do, you're rewatching the first movie twice.
Because the thing is, Billy doesn't have much of like, he doesn't talk much. He
Not a
really
lot.
doesn't.
No.
Ricky is the one who mainly talks.
Right.
So I think I feel like the best way to watch it, from my opinion, is to watch the second one because it's a lot of shorter. It's a shorter recap if you watch that from the first one because it has everything from the first one, just shortened a lot.
Yeah.
But you get like the gist of it. And then you get Ricky's story, and then he's dressed as Santa.
Right.
And then if you go and watch the first one second, then you get the whole story and get everything, and it's like more in depth, and it has more Santa in it.
Right.
I feel like for me that's the best way to watch it.
Yeah. Give it a watch.
Yeah.
They're fun.
What's your exact rating?
The first one is 6, then the second one probably like a 3.
A 3?
It's just fun. It's bad, but it's fun.
I still give it a 5. I think anything below.
If I'm gonna critically score it, it's like a 3.
It's watchable.
Yeah. I'm critically I'm giving it a 3.
Okay.
Guilty pleasure, I'm giving it like a 5 or 6, the second one. Just because I have so much enjoyment and if I ever watch this again on my own time, I'm gonna fast forward halfway through the movie. Like I'm not gonna watch it.
Someone's got to make an edit with like
Yeah.
those recaps
Yeah.
kind of
Or just
not in there.
Or just do the new stuff. Yeah.
Someone's got to edit some movies.
But the first one I think I find generally somewhat good.
Yeah,
Like a genuine 6.
and it does have a cohesive story.
It's a full-fledged story. It's typical 80s, it's not like horrendous. Like it actually has substance to it. So
Yeah, I'll have
Decent
to agree
acting.
on the 6. I feel the same way. Like it's watchable, so I give them anything above a 5.
Yeah.
It's not a masterpiece, but
Right.
it's a Christmas masterpiece.
it's one of those you watch once a year.
Yeah.
Christmas, that's it. Let it
Or
sit.
if you put it on the background, if you're like,
Yeah.
I just want to listen to something fun and
Right.
absurd,
Yeah.
just put it on in the background.
Yeah.
But it is best Christmas time.
It fits.
It's festive.
It's a fun time.
What about the mean one that you watched?
Ooh. Oh yeah, I watched the Mean One, the horror not Grinch movie
Yeah,
yesterday.
they can't say Grinch in the movie.
Yeah, copyright issues. No, it was horrendous. It was bad, but I had to have it because I haven't seen it, so I bought it. And I watched it. Maybe it's like a 4. It's like it's purposely bad. It's one of those horror comedies, like purposely comedies, but at the same time they took itself serious and they didn't full-fledged go with the goofiness.
Yeah.
Like at times they took it seriously and then it wasn't cohesive like that. If they went full-fledged like comedy and like really like believed it, in that way, I think it would have been better. But I mean, all the kills are like overly CGI. The blood, it's like poorly generated and it's just on the screen. It's bloody. It's not as bloody as the Terrifier films, but it's definitely bloody. There are some practical effects. The makeup's really good. The acting's not really good. The story is pretty bad. It's the Grinch story, but with a different perspective and a lot of murder. Like,
Yeah, they're doing a lot of that, like old childhood movies
Yeah.
turned like with the Mickey.
Mickey Mouse, Bambi, Peter Pan, the
Yeah.
the Pooniverse. That's what they're calling it.
It's not a good day.
It's not a good name. And then they're literally no, like they. I don't. Did I tell you they like fleshed out their plan of all the movies
Oh.
in that universe? So they have. It's kind of like a Marvel cinematic universe, but it's called the Pooniverse. So the last one is like the Pooniverse Monsters Assemble. Like it's literally all of them in one movie. They're copying
Oh,
Marvel,
God.
but with so
Oh, Eeyore's dead.
it's going to be pretty funny. So I'm going to watch them all.
Yeah, it'll probably be like a guilty. Like, would
Yeah.
you watch? Like, would you watch the mean one again? Like, is it a rewatchable?
Maybe once a year.
Because
Like I'll watch it once a year.
like if it's like if it's a spoof, like scary movies, or like it's a good one you could watch over and over.
It's not that because again they don't
Commit to it.
commit to it. It's kind of just bad.
Yeah, I think you got to commit. Like, if you're gonna be serious, you got to commit to being serious.
Yep.
You can add comedy.
Yeah.
But the comedy has to be good and fit with the tone. But if you're gonna go absurdity, you gotta commit to it.
Yeah.
Or else you're like what are you trying to be?
Exactly. And they make fun of the Grinch in a funny way. Like you get some few laughs. Like the narrator, it was in the trailer. Like there is a narrator, just like the Grinch, and like because it starts off like you remember that girl Cindy Lou and Who Knew or something. They made fun of her name, but this movie takes place with Cindy older. She's like an adult now because she had trauma. The Grinch was stealing Christmas back then. She walked up to the Grinch dressed as Santa. Obviously noticed like it was like a green monster, but didn't care at that time. The mom saw. She was like, "Get away from her!" And she like beat the hell out of the Santa, and like that's what made the Grinch so mean because he like literally got beat up and everybody's making fun of him. So that's why he's so
That's really
mean. It's funny, like, and that's why he's so mean. Because at the end of the movie, it comes full circle. Because she gave the Grinch like a necklace, and he wore it all this time. So she's about to kill him, kind of like a Martha moment. She's about to kill him, and she sees the necklace, and she's like, "You held on to this all this time," and he just nods, and then she's like, "I forgive you." And then his heart grows 3 sizes, it explodes, and he dies.
That's actually a
That's how
good
he
ending.
dies. Yeah, that's how he dies.
I think that's a good ending.
But then it ends with, and the Grinch, Christmas was saved this year. At least just this year. So I don't know. They might make it a second one. Who knows? But
Oh yeah, Max comes.
they did make fun of Max. There was a stuffed animal who was dressed like Max. He didn't really have a dog, but there was like a stuffed animal with antlers. But it had some funny moments. But no, overall, it's not. Really
Was there one character that was like the comedy relief, or was it?
It was
multiple?
probably the Grinch, in a way.
Because
Just the way he
I was gonna say, I feel like
It wasn't really.
if it's one character that does the comedy, it could work. But if it's like,
It was just bad acting comedy. Like the humor came from bad acting. There wasn't really a goofy character, like who full on was goofy. I really don't think so. It was just the acting was goofy, all around. But
maybe I'll watch it.
I give it a watch. I mean, I'm sure. I don't think it's on any streaming service, but I have it. I can lend it to you. But yeah, it's
Physical media.
lives on. It deserves at least one watch.
One watch.
And then you'll make your decision. Watch it again. Never watch it again. But watch it once because there is some funny stuff to be had in there. A few laughs. Like
Yeah.
turn your brain off. Get some snacks. Have a few drinks.
I think this is the age of old childhood movies turned horror.
Right.
I think the horror genre is definitely popping off with some
Weird ones.
some weird ones.
But hey, they make money, so
Yeah.
This was in theaters, so for I think maybe a few days.
Do you know what the budget was?
No, but probably like a few $1,000s. Like it's not.
Land Shark.
All the budget went into his makeup because that was good. So that's about it. So that's my short review on The Mean One.
Hmm.
You're not missing anything if you don't watch it. But if you're a horror enthusiast, give it a watch.
Okay. Will do.
Could be a fun time.
No.
All right. I think that about does it. You got anything else to add?
I don't think I have anything else to add other than I'll just say it's not really festive, but I'm disappointed in the Scream news.
More news?
Yeah.
What's the news?
The actor Chad, he's coming. It's disappointing in the fact that he's a good actor and I liked him in the films, but he's coming back, so the story's going to be the same, but it's going to be years after. But it's like, why does that all add up?
Scream or Scary Movie?
Scream.
Who's Chad?
The brother and sister, the one who in the first one he gets stabbed a bunch of times and he gets stabbed and then he survives at the end. It's what's his name? Randy's nephew and niece.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
I thought you meant in like the originals. No,
No,
yeah.
no.
Apparently he's alive. Well, they never killed him.
They were going to kill him in the
Mm.
recent one. They were when he gets
Oh.
stabbed so many times.
Yeah, and then they take him away. I'm like, how is he alive? But he's confirmed to be back.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was a total reboot. Now it's not.
I mean, I could be wrong. I watched it somewhere else that's what was said.
Interesting.
So it's like it's just weird to add him back again. Like,
Yeah.
they're I don't know if they think they know what direction that they want to go.
Probably not. I mean, I would just stick with. Just stop. Just end it.
Just
Or-
reboot it again.
Or bring Stu back. If
Just-
you're gonna make another one, have him back for one.
Exactly.
One last hurrah. He's the mastermind behind all of this. He sent all the
He
other
played
ghosts.
dumb.
Yeah,
No,
he
I'm
sent all the other ghost faces to do his work. They all failed, and it's now a Thanos moment. He's like, all right, I'm going to do it myself. That's how it should play out.
Yeah.
And he wins. That's what I want. I'd be satisfied with that. He wins.
He deserves it.
He deserves it. He got a TV thrown on his head. And he got hit with the phone, which wasn't in the script, funny enough. He wasn't meant to hit him with the phone. But I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Killer Media Podcast, holiday special.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
You should be watching this on Christmas.
Yeah, whether if you're busy enough, you're either watching this on Christmas or a little bit after when all the craziness has ended. Holidays can be crazy for people. So
Spend time with your family and enjoy the time that you have. And when you have the time, you could tune in and hope you guys enjoy whatever gifts that you do send to people.
yeah, we hope you all find enjoyment in the holidays as we do. So with that being said, happy holidays, and we'll see you on the next episode of the podcast.
Yeah. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow our social medias.
Mhm.
Instagram, Twitter,
X,
Facebook,
Facebook, TikTok,
TikTok.
Spotify,
Yes.
YouTube, obviously. This is it's our biggest thing. Leave comments. Let us
Hitting
know.
the notification if you want to keep up with new episodes that come out.
Mhm.
Following on social media is also a good way to know when an
Mhm.
episode comes out.
Yeah, we typically, I don't know, we did it a lot in the beginning, but we'll be more on tune with leading up to the episode, maybe with some what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So we'll let you know when it goes, when we plan to release it and stuff. So, keep in contact with that. Leave comments. Let us know your favorite holiday movie, your holiday tradition. Let us know anything holiday related.
Yeah.
Let's-
Even if it's not horror,
Yeah.
but let us know good horror Christmas movies that you think
Yeah.
that we would like.
There's a few, but I don't think there's a lot. Obviously, the ones we talked about, The Grinch. There's not a lot. I mean, there's Violent Night. That's not a horror movie, but it's a action Christmas. But yeah, there's not a lot of Christmas horror movies out there.
No, but
I'm sure there are, but
maybe
not-
you guys have found some.
Bad, good, shoot them our way. We'll talk about them.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll watch it and review it and
Yeah.
put it into an episode.
Yeah.
Depends. It's festive times would be the best time.
Yeah.
But
Could have a one-off. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. See you next time.
see ya. Don't be naughty.
Naughty.